Hello, everybody, and welcome to my new podcast, Creative Excess. But yeah, it's gonna be good. So, what the concept around this is I have a lot of projects. I'm a creative person. I like making things, but I make stuff, I start things, and then I don't follow through on them a lot of the time. And I kind of plan to change that, but at the current time, I have a lot of things that I'm just not doing right now. So, I'm gonna make those into content and talk about them because I still like them. I'm just not doing them, or I'm actively working on them. And this one is in the second category because it is a card game story thing about historical women throughout history. That was a bad thing. But yeah, I got the idea from when I saw the Mother's Basement card game video because I thought the video was really cool. It's a good video. You should go watch it. I'll put it in the cards. But it's about how a lot of card game anime, or basically all card game anime, don't actually focus on the process of the card game, like how it is in real life. They focus on like the battle fight and the tense, getting the last card at the right moment, which happens sometimes. But also, a lot of good card decks are about planning out your strategy ahead of time. So, I want to make a card game story, comic, I don't know, about that part of card games. So, basically, I'm just going to go through the stuff I have for it, and that'll be this podcast, essentially. So, the concept, I'll just read it to you. So, it's a card game that actually shows people to paying attention to the meta and building a strategy around new cards. The main character, Talia, is introduced to the game right around the change of the set by her sister, Elodie. Elodie buys her a pack and teaches her how to play and loves it. She introduces it to her friends Reginald and Joe. They all go to the game shop once a week, at least, to play tournaments there. Eventually, there's a large tournament with a $200 prize, and they all decide to compete. So, that's all that I have for the basic concept. I haven't really done any character work so far because I just wanted to focus on the actual cards. But first, I'm going to give you the basic rules that I have right now. I've taken little things from a bunch of different other card games to make the process simpler on myself. So, first bullet point, you have 20 health. Simple enough. Each card would cost a certain amount of points depending on power, and you gain 2 every turn. You gain 2 energy every turn. I actually based this off of a card game anime that no one that I know actually has heard of or watched. It's called Future Card Buddy Fight, and I enjoy it. I haven't watched too much of it, but I watched a lot of it a year ago. I'm about to start watching it again on Verve. I've seen the first 9 episodes, I believe, and it's good and it's fun. And it also doesn't focus on the card game thing so far, the real card game, but I like it still. And then, unlike Hearthstone, any excess points carry over. So, let's say you get 2 points. You get 2 points the first turn, use all of them. Then you get 2 points the second time, and only use 1. Well then, on the third turn, you get 2 more points. So now you have 3 total points. And to make this so that you can cast higher energy cards, I'm going to say point and energy interchangeably. They mean the same thing. And to make it so you can get higher energy cards, there are different cards that generate it. Basically like Soul Ring or something from Magic. They're generators, but we'll get to that another time. And then it would have a merchant that you could sell cards to for a point. But okay, so there would be an option that you can sell a card. And it would probably be during what is equivalent to your main phase, so that you don't in combat put it up and then sell it so they don't do any damage to you. It's not going to happen. So it would happen probably in your main phase. And then you could sell a card for any card that lasts on the battlefield for an energy. And yeah, it would have damage and health, but I'm calling these probably power and vitality, because I like how vitality sounds. It's a really nice word. And then what else? The cards have the rarity levels. So far I've been calling them commoners, prodigies, leaders, and figureheads, but I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not too keen on it, but that's the best thing I could think of, so we're gonna go with that. I don't want to just say rare, uncommon, ultra rare. That's lame. That's for nerds. And then units are still alive, have their vitality restored like magic, and then you can have up to 5 of the same card in a deck, and decks are at least 60 cards. Because I was going to do 4, but then I was like, let me see what other cards games do other than Magic. And I looked at Yu-Gi-Oh! And I saw that in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can only have 3, so I was like, oh, I can do whatever. I want to keep it around that range, though. So I just do 5. And then you can only have 6 cards in your hand, and you have to discard down to that. So I feel like the most original thing in this is the Merchant. But yeah, now I will walk through. This is gonna be a short podcast. I'm gonna walk through the list of women that I've actually planned out what their cards are gonna do so far, and this could change. I haven't planned out any point costs yet because I want to get a feel for what should cost how much points, and I know that it's not gonna be great. And I'm gonna have a thing like Magic where cards cycle out, and then we're gonna have some permanent formats, but in the main format they cycle out so that, as I get better at designing these, then the cards get better, stuff like that. And I'm going to look into different card games to see how many cards that they have, because I want to have a variety in each set, because I want to have a variety of cards that to choose from, but I also do not want to, make it super hard for myself. So I'm going to have, 3 sets already out. So however many I'm going to have in each set, approximately, we'll multiply that times 3 and then make that many cards. But I have 33 people that I'm going to make cards, but out of those people, I have only made 7 of the cards. So, yeah, I'll just go through the 7. First is Mary Anning, who she was one of the people that started paleontology. She was one of the people who started pushing it forward. And her power is 1, and her vitality is 3. And then her ability is when Mary Anning enters when Mary Anning enters the battlefield, summon a 2/4 Plesiosaur token. At the beginning of your turn, Mary Anning summons a seashell token that reads, "You may sacrifice this token to gain 2 temporary points." So let's break that down. When you enter the battlefield, you get a 2/4 Plesiosaur token, and this is because she was the first person to find an entire plesiosaur, I believe. That might be wrong, but as I remember, she was the first person to find an entire plesiosaur and put it together. And then at the beginning of your turn, she summoned the seashell token because I wanted something that makes points. And also, it's believed, although I don't know if it's actually true, that the nursery rhyme, "She sells seashells by the seashore," was named after her. And then her flavor name is Paleontologist Pioneer because I like alliteration. And then it's Mary Seacole, who was real tight. She was a nurse in the Crimean War? I think the Crimean War. And she's biracial. Her mom was from Jamaica. Her dad was from England. She grew up in Jamaica. She moved to England later on. She tried to go to nurse it officially, but then they were like, no. No. So then she just went and set up her own shop. And then she went bankrupt because, and then she was kind of poor for a while. And then the soldiers that helped her found out, and they pulled together a fund. They put together a fund, and it was really cool in the newspaper. And it's like GoFundMe, but old. And then once per turn, Mary Seacole can either heal you for 4 health or add 1 power to another unit. Mary Anning cannot attack. So I wanted her to be a defender because she wasn't really about that. She would yell at you and stuff if you were disrespectful. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't know her. But she was like a nurse and she healed people. So I wanted to say she can either heal you for 4 health. That might be too many health. I might dial that back a little bit. That might be too many. Or add 1 attack to another unit. 1 power. So she couldn't add a power to yourself, and Marianne cannot attack. If that comes up too many times, that might be defender. Like, I just might take that for magic because it works. Shut up, phone. Oh my god. Shut up. Sorry, my phone's stupid. Anyway, so next, the one that I'm most excited for, Qingxi or Chang'atso. I've heard that too. I don't know. She's really cool. The pirate queen. She 4 power, 3 vitality. Her text. She has a lot of text. When Qingxi enters the battlefield, summon 3 1/5 ship tokens with the ability Cannons. Once per turn, this token may deal 1 damage to any target. And then she has the ability Logistics. I think I'm going to name a lot of the abilities. But she has the ability Logistics. Every unit gain 1 power. And Naval Strategist. Ships gain +2/+1. So 2 power. And I did all this because she was like, even when her husband was in power, she was like working it behind the scenes. And even when her adopted son was in power, I did air quotes, but she was in power. She was the queen. She did everything. And then I wanted the ships to be able to do something, like have an ability, and I was like, what do ships have? Cannons. So they shoot, and then pirates are naval strategists. They were better at naval strategy than the Chinese government. So yeah. And then her thing is Pirate Queen. And then we have Marie Curie. Marie Curie? I don't actually know. I always said Marie Curie, but I think that's wrong. She is 2/2, 2 power, 2 vitality. And then, this one has a lot too. On entering the battlefield, summon 2 Nobel Prize tokens with the text, sacrifice this token for 3 points. Radioactive exposure. 2 energy. Once per turn, she can decrease a unit's max vitality by 3. This ability cannot reduce it to less than 1. So, why? Well, Marie Curie was a radiobiologist, and she dealt with radioactive chemicals, and I don't know which chemical she discovered. I'm not gonna pretend like I know what chemical she discovered, but what element she discovered. But she won 2 Nobel Prizes, so I wanted to put that in there, and I wanted the Nobel Prize to do something important, so sacrifice them for 3 points. And then I was gonna, flashing back to Marianne, my bad. I was gonna have the seashells be worth 1 point, but then when I thought of the merchant, which I thought, that's a cool idea. I didn't want them to just be basically just selling them to the merchant. So you have to sacrifice them. Yeah, they get 2 points. So, and then radioactive exposure. 2 energy, once per turn, she can decrease a unit's max vitality by 3. It's because an exposure to radioactivity, that messes you up, man. You can die like that. And I didn't want them to just be able to die, so I wanted to reduce a unit's effectiveness. And yeah, I wanted to be max HP. Because I wanted it to be a lasting effect, because radioactivity poisoning, is that what it's called? I don't know, is a lasting thing. And then her flavor name is Radiobiologist Regent. I don't know if I spelled Regent wrong. It's like alliteration. I have Dorothy Kilgallen. Dorothy Kilgallen was dope. Alright. All opposing creatures have attack +1, but health -1. And then deep dive report, 2 energy. Choose an enemy, they get -2 attack and -2 vitality. I'm sorry, I'm saying attack instead of power, but I don't care. Whatever, same thing. And the most recently made ones, I made Marie Curie, Dorothy Kilgallen, and Shepset recently. But, yeah. They're cool. I wanted Dorothy Kilgallen because I was gonna incorporate What's My Line, but I didn't feel like it. And then I wanted her to show that she wanted to report the truth, and she made enemies, so people were angry at her, which was like the 1 power, but their public perception was lowered, which was the vitality, which I don't exactly think that came across well, but I don't really know what else to do about that, so this is the best I got. And flashing back to Mercury, I think I want to make a like radioactive spa or something. It's something. I will put an image up of that in editing. Or I won't. I don't know. I'm kind of rushing because it's past 10 and I should have uploaded at 10. But, I watched The Matrix and it was really good and I couldn't go away. I was going to record and then come back, but then I was like, this is a good movie, so I didn't. So, what you gonna do? That's what it is. And then Shepset, she is 2/4. And then when Hatshepsut enters the battlefield, summon 2/2/1 guard tokens. At the beginning of your turn, you gain 1 temporary point. So this one is like more vague. So it's not really, but the guard tokens are because she was a queen, and queens have guards. That's just why. I might make the guards' vitality higher than their. I might make their vitality higher than their. What's it called? Power. There we go. I did a little dance. What's happening? Okay, I might make their vitality higher than their power because their job isn't to like go out and kill people. It's just to protect. But I don't know. At the beginning of your turn, you gain 1 temporary point. This is because Hatshepsut. It's been a while since I looked up stuff about her, but she. One of her accomplishments was opening up a lot of trade routes. And I was like, what is a resource that you have? Temporary points. And you have your points. And you have your health. Those are your main 2 resources. And I don't want to take away from that. I don't want to invent another resource yet. Maybe later. But, yeah. So I was like, I don't want to do health because that's like nurses and stuff. So I was like, all right, energy is like just wide general resources. And, yeah, that's what I have on. I actually want to make some cards that cost health because I always thought those were really cool in Magic because they could be really good. But sometimes they made it way too good, like Phyrexian mana or Channel. So, yeah. And then, let me see if I have anything else for this. I didn't actually open up all of these. Here's a thing called field cards. Let's see what that's about. Nothing. Oh yeah, it's called a radioactive spa. But I'm not gonna... I already put it up on the screen. So, yeah, that's all I have for this story that is unnamed so far, that I've been working on for like a year. On and off. I've been off for a while, but I'm thinking of hopping back on. So I'm gonna be doing this to put out my projects when I'm not gonna actually put out yet, and also use this as kind of a devlog, but not for video games. So I'm just gonna be doing this for projects that I am continuing. Like, I don't know, but yeah. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share me with a friend. Peace. Also, if you didn't know, I made an album, so check it out in the description. It's an instrumental. I like it. You like it, maybe. Check it out. Check it out. I'll probably be posting it here in a while, but not yet. So it's only on Bandcamp right now, so check it out. Okay, bye.